Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another GT7 news and update video. This time we're going to talk about the 5 brand new cars coming to GT7 next week. As usual, it'll probably be the Thursday with the trailer dropping officially on the Wednesday. Now these are confirmed through Nenkai. He's done the exact same that he did last time. When the silhouettes come up, he kind of leaves it a couple of hours and then basically says exactly what there are. Now this is the first time and that we've got 5 cars really coming from an update. The most we had previously was 4, but it's 5 very good cars and none of them are really repeats. So yeah, very excited for this one. Good selection of cars. Now what I'm actually going to do, because the images for the cars themselves are actually mainly copyrighted, I'm not going to risk just putting them up on screen. What I'm going to do is I will link the actual tweet from Kaz himself for the silhouettes. We'll kind of talk through them. I'll first kind of give you what I thought they were, and then we'll kind of, I'll tell you exactly what it is. So, it'd be quite, nice, get a bit of a discussion going, seeing if we're kind of disappointed or excited. But I can kind of, say already, it's a pretty exciting bunch of cars. So let's get into it. So the middle one, let's talk about this one. I think we all know what this is. This is the Ferrari VGT. Now, essentially, we already knew this one was coming. It was kind of revealed at the World Finals, kind of shown off the concept design. I believe it's a non-runner currently, so it's just kind of like a shell with all the, nice looks to it and all that good stuff. Pretty excited for this one. It's a Ferrari VGT, which is a pretty big deal in terms of the VGTs in the game. People can complain about them all you like, but honestly, getting brands like this on board the VGT program is only a good thing. Look, these cars are becoming more like reality than they are the future. Let's be honest, concept cars have been around for the longest time in Gran Turismo. They even released a game back in Europe, which was Tokyo to Geneva 2002, which was Gran Turismo concept. So yeah, look, concept cars have been around for a while. The VGT program makes sense in terms of Gran Turismo. People that might not be as aware of people that have kind of been around since the start may not realize that, look, Gran Turismo always has heavy influence with concept cars, so that's all these VGTs really are a continuation of. I'm pretty excited for it. December 15th comes the kind of early access for it. That's for people that did the viewers challenge on day 4, so hopefully if you follow my guides on that, you should be able to basically just get it given to you on the 15th. It'll probably be around midday UK time anyway. I believe coming to the actual dealership itself, the brand central, it'll be, I think the 22nd or the 23rd, so something like that. So yeah, the middle one is the Ferrari VGT. I'm excited for it. It's a Ferrari, it's a VGT. I'm not usually the biggest fan of them, like I said, but it's a big brand and it's a brand we've never had, and it's not electric, so it's only a plus in my opinion. Nice to see it. So let's go top right next, and I think this is probably the second easiest to guess. This is one that we didn't know was coming. It was originally on the data mined list, but there is also cars coming in that weren't on that list, so it appears that we're getting a decent selection of cars. This is the Toyota Celica rally car. I believe it's the ST205, I think was kind of the sort of, in whatever Toyota name for it, for that model. Again, pretty legendary car, been around in previous Gran Turismo games for years. It will more than likely have the Castrol livery on it, so it's pretty iconic. Glad to see this. I am not complaining over these classic rally cars coming. I believe there's also in the data mine list the Renault 5 Turbo. I believe that's the kind of like blue and red one. You'll know it when you see it. Again, another iconic rally car, so hopefully that comes in the future. Nice to see a new kind of classic rally car entering the game again, a car that's been in Gran Turismo for years now. Awesome to see it. Cannot wait for this one. Genuinely really happy with this one. Let's go to the bottom right now, and again, this was a pretty easy one to just guess, mainly because of the back of the silhouette. You can quite easily see a bit of the light, and it's kind of a dead giveaway, especially with the shape. It's the Bugatti Chrion from 2016. We do have the VGT concept, the big race car one, the Group 1. Again, it's going to look pretty similar to that, but it's the official Chiron. So really awesome to see. Absolutely love seeing this because it's a modern day Bugatti. The only other real road car version that we have is the Veyron, which look at this point, as cool as that car was and as iconic as it was, it's pretty outdated by this point. Bugatti have made a bunch of newer cars since then, and to be honest, the Chiron is the kind of staple of Bugatti. A lot of people were kind of saying, oh, that looks like the Devo. No, it's not. It's the Chiron from 2016. So awesome to see this enter the game, a more up-to-date modern Bugatti. I feel like I'll be able to do some pretty fun builds with this one, as well as doing some top speed tests and all that good stuff. So awesome to see this Bugatti Chiron enter the game. So let's go top left next, and this is one where I just really couldn't decide what it was. I didn't have the usual amount of time to look into it, into the silhouettes like I usually do. This weekend I've been kind of busy with personal stuff. I just seem to be very busy with the run up to Christmas and stuff. But yeah, from a quick first glance, I was kind of thinking maybe the McLaren, or is it a Tourer or something like that? I'm not exactly sure on the second name for that one, but I was pretty certain it might have been some sort of McLaren. And then I kind of looked at it a bit closer. I was like, oh no, that could be that Maserati MC20, which again is an awesome car. But then I kind of looked at it a bit closer and I thought, oh, finally, thank you, Polyphony. It's the Corvette C8. Again, another car that was in a Gran Turismo livery at the World Finals, but thankfully it is finally coming to GT7. And the reason I am so glad for this is not because I'm really even that bothered about it entering the game. It's just the amount of comments I've had for months mentioning the Corvette C8. You know, I'm finally thankful to see it enter the game. I believe it's the Stingray version, not the ZR1. So we'll probably start getting the comments of where's my C8 ZR1 or where's the C8R, the GT3 version. It could happen, who knows, just wait in there. Look, there's a lot of cars coming to this game. It's got a long life cycle. You know, we've all got cars we want coming to the game. I've got cars I want to come, you know, return to Gran Turismo that, you know, might not ever really make it in, mostly due to licenses and, you know, these certain brands not being in the game anymore. But, you know, it is what it is. Just hang in there. Look, cars are coming. We are getting a decent selection of more kind of older cars coming to the game as well as new ones. You know, you've just got to hang in there. They can't just shove them all in one update, because then it'd be pretty pointless, you know, adding anything in for the rest of the year, and Gran Turismo will just get still very, very stale very, very quick. So look, as much as I don't like drip feeding in the sense of we are now getting decent cars put into the game, I'm quite happy just kind of seeing what the mixture is. So yeah, definitely a good car to have. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily overall that bothered. It's nice to have. I don't think it'll be a car that will really stick around for as much as the hype was built up for it. In that sense, I mean that, look, it's the road version. For me personally, I would rather have the race version, the full kind of IMSA kitted car. But it's just one of those things, look. You know, it's an awesome addition. Hopefully this is the end of the C8 comments. Personally, look, Polyphony, where's my, you know, C5 at? You know, that one's not in the game. But obviously, you know, look, I'm joking. We nearly have all the Corvettes in there. I believe it is literally just the C5 that's not in the game. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's the only one, because I believe we do have the C6 in there as well, which I think is a ZR1 version. But yeah, awesome to see. Glad it's come in. Hopefully people can stop, you know, spamming my chat, or should I say spamming my comment sections with C8s, but you're probably all going to go and do that now. But look, it was a good laugh. I did kind of joke around with, you know, people that I kind of in my, you know, circle of people that I play with and people in my league, like, look, I am sick of hearing these, you know, C8 comments. Sorry, a bit of an audio bug there. I'm not quite sure what happened. But yeah, finally, Polyphony are bringing it. And that brings an end to the C8 comment era, until the C8R comment era comes along. And obviously the ZR1 and all that good stuff. So yeah, can't wait for that one. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, just is what it is. Let's move on to the final car then. This will be the bottom left. This was a bit of a difficult one. I at first couldn't quite tell what it was. I kind of looked at the shape and I thought, well, if we've got one rally car coming in, it's a possibility it could be another rally car. Then I looked a bit closer and I kind of looked at the sloping back window and I thought, do you know what? that seems to have quite an aggressive slope on it. Like the silhouette made the kind of rear of the car look like it slopes down really aggressively, and I just thought, you know what, this has got to be the 2023 Honda Civic Type R. And then I kind of like looked at it a bit more, and I thought it could be a lighting thing. You know, that's what these silhouettes do. They really kind of, you know, try and throw you off with the lighting and such. And I was kind of set on it, and then Nenkai kind of said it was the Alfa Romeo, which, let's be honest, I am absolutely ecstatic with. I cannot wait for this car to finally come to the game. I know last update I thought the M2 was the Alfa Romeo, and I was a bit disappointed with the M2. Don't get me wrong, I've gone on to use the M2 competition and really enjoy it, but it was never on the kind of enjoyment that I feel like I'll enjoy this Alfa Romeo from. I'm a bit of a Italian car fanboy, as well as kind of, you know, Japanese car fanboy as well, but I really love, you know, the majority of the cars that come out from the likes of Alfa Romeo, Ferrari and all that stuff. They're always stunning, and I couldn't think of anything better than this car to finally come to the game. And honestly, I think a lot of people will agree that, you know, the likes of that C8 and the Alfa Romeo are pretty, you know, long overdue. You know, awesome cars, really enjoyable, a lot more modern, as well as kind of having like the classic of the, you know, Celica rally car, you know, enter the game. I feel like this overall is going to be a fantastic update. I really cannot complain. Hopefully they kind of, you know, continue with what they did last update, and, you know, bring us more special events, and, you know, or just in general, because, you know, obviously the more kind of seasonal events are still running into January, you know, just bring us a decent selection of events. Now, it is also rumoured that the Nürburgring is getting 2 more layouts. The main reason is the files are actually in the game, and it's something that Polyphony doesn't really do. I feel like they've accidentally just kind of put them in a little bit early, because you can go and see them for yourself. So it's looking like we're getting the Nürburgring layouts, the endurance layout, which is, well, it kind of makes sense after this one, and the sprint layout. So essentially that'll be, the endurance layout will be the sprint and the ring, and the sprint layout is just, well, the sprint layout, a shorter version. So it'll be quite nice to be able to hopefully rock these cars on that new set of layouts around the Nürburgring. Personally, it's a legendary track, up there with the likes of Le Mans and stuff. Some people won't like that, but it is what it is. We've all got our personal preferences, and I cannot argue that enough. Look, we're not all going to be best pleased each and every update. It's just one of those things. But in all honesty, I have to say that Gran Turismo 7 is ending 2022 on a much better note than it started on. You know, with the controversy at the beginning of the year, and then kind of the slow updates, the really poor updates after really kind of Watkins Glen, we fell into that kind of dark place where most people were fed up, a lot of people were leaving, but we're kind of, I feel like the game's kind of in a bit of a resurgence coming out of the, you know, other end of 2022. I feel like the game's in a much better way. It's definitely, you know, starting to get the treatment it deserved in the first place. Again, I just feel like that's kind of down to Sony rushing the game out and then Polyphony having to catch themselves up, and it's just took a, you know, decent amount of time. And that's not me defending Polyphony, don't get me wrong, they are not perfect by no means. I just feel like they've had a bit of a job on, and a bit of a battle with Sony. I feel like the game is definitely going places. Hopefully they continue this momentum going forward, seeing how impressed we were with November update. Hopefully December's just as good, and, you know, at least as solid. I don't think it'll be kind of as big. There's not as much to kind of, you know, pile in. I don't expect it every month, but hopefully if they keep this momentum going, we can finally see GT7 enter 2023 thriving, with the community definitely getting back on track, even if, you know, it's still kind of divided, but it's not as divided as it was just a few months ago. It was in a terrible place. Honestly, I couldn't even bear to look at my own comments because it was just negative constantly, and even myself, you know, it kind of rubs off on yourself. You don't really want to make content for it because you think, you know what, it's just going to be the same old, but, you know, again, like I said, GT7 just feels like it's in a better place. Let me know what you think. I personally think, you know, we could see a resurgence with this game if Polyphony just keep that momentum going. That's all they've got to do is, you know, keep the momentum going, keep listening to the community, because I feel like we are getting listened to a bit more now than we were. You know, I get a lot of these cars were kind of already pre-planned, but I feel like they are starting to cater to a lot more people than they were previously. I mean, like I said, those dark times through like the summer and it kind of into the I guess later bit of the year was just terrible. Honest to God, I've never seen a game just, you know, I guess so crushed and down on itself, because it was in a very, very poor state. I felt like the game was almost at the point of being abandoned. That's kind of how it felt, with how weak the updates were, especially for, you know, the big racing title on you know, PlayStation, and one of the biggest names in the racing game franchise. It was an absolute laughingstock. But, you know, hopefully, like I said, they get this momentum going and we enter 2023 in a much better place. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to be it from me today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.